Shiva Baby is a drama comedy that was just released on streaming platforms that's written and directed by Emma Seligman. So, Shiva Baby is a film that my cousin Eric has only told me about for quite some time. And he's somebody that got to see this film early and was really telling me to watch this film and be on the lookout for it when it came out. So, obviously, right when it came out, I had to watch it. And just to cut right to the chase, Shiva Baby is an awesome film. I really enjoy the hell out of it. It's incredibly anxiety-inducing and at times can be extremely stressful, but it's a really engaging film, really entertaining, and incredibly hilarious. But give me to stop and take a second to appreciate one hell of a poster that this is for the film. She's literally wearing a dress that's made out of cream cheese with bagels on it. Can somebody say Jewish? But we also have to take a second to really appreciate and admire the female filmmaker behind this, Emma Seligman. She's never made a feature film before, and this is actually based off of a short film that she made, and I guess you decided to expand this into a feature-length film. And for a directorial debut, it's pretty amazing stuff. I mean, watching a film like this, I would kind of assume that she's at least made 2 or 3 films already, just because she seems really comfortable with her craft. But to learn that this was her first feature film was really impressive and really shocking. This is a film that is not only directed really well in terms of just how well it builds its tension, and just how well the entire film flows as our main character just kind of like bounces between a whole bunch of different character interactions. And the vast majority of it feels incredibly natural to me. There's only like maybe a few moments that feel like movie moments, but for the most part, I think she did a great job at pacing this film and allowing it to flow in this really non-stop anxiety-inducing kind of way. Because this is a film that feels incredibly claustrophobic in the sense that you really feel trapped the same way that this main character is, who, by the way, is played by an actress named Rachel Sennott, I think is how you pronounce it. I've never heard of her before. I've never seen her in anything before this. She really knocked it out of the park in this film. I really bought every ounce of emotion in her, every ounce of pure frustration, every ounce of social anxiety that she was just like wreaking in this film. Excellent job by her. I really hope to see her in more things after this. But yeah, this film truly captures the essence of social anxiety incredibly well. And I thought it was kind of weird because Uncut Gems is another film that obviously came out a few years ago, but it's a film that also revolves around a Jewish character and a Jewish family and somewhat Jewish culture as well. And it's also one of the most anxiety-inducing films that I've ever seen. So, like, as I was watching this film, I was like, what's up with Jewish filmmakers making extremely anxiety-inducing films? But, yeah, Uncut Gems it's not necessarily social anxiety that captures, like, just a really high-energy, non-stop tension kind of anxiety. This film kind of captures that too, but it's definitely geared towards social anxiety and just how it demonstrates the kind of reasons why people have social anxiety and also just embodying the horrible feeling of social anxiety. Because this film very well expresses and demonstrates the kind of gossipy and shit-talky nature that family can be, but not even just family, but just people in general. And it's just one of those things to where in this film, it just shows you, like, every interaction that you have with someone is always going to be met with evaluation and judgment immediately once you walk away. And that was demonstrated incredibly well because every time this main character is forced to engage with a family member or a friend or something, as soon as she walks away, they're immediately judging her and, you know, trying to evaluate her personality and who she is as a person, and that just really well encapsulates the human race in a way. And I also think that this film does an incredible job at expressing the feelings that someone has in terms of always feeling that they have to impress their parents, impress their parents' friends, impressing their family, in terms of, you know, what they're going to do with their life. You're constantly being questioned, you know, do you have any interviews lined up? What are you studying in college? Do you plan on going to college? What's your plan after college? And there's just this constant outside pressure that really makes socializing and interacting with people that much harder because, again, it goes back to always feeling like you're being judged and evaluated. But what I also really enjoyed and admired about this film is that its main character isn't, like, played out to be this perfect person or this goody two-shoe kind of person who, you know, is expecting the audience to really admire and respect. The main character is certainly questionable, has done questionable things that is definitely explored in this film. But I like that about it because it goes back to making me think about why somebody chooses to do certain things. And also, it really makes you feel for the character, regardless if, they've done some questionable things in the past. Kind of like Uncut Gems, except I think Adam Sandler's character in Uncut Gems is a lot less redeemable in a way, but even in Uncut Gems, I couldn't help but root for the guy. I'm not sure if I'm to be alone on that, but this film kind of achieves a similar thing to where the main character really isn't this great person, but you can't help but just feel for her situation and feel incredibly trapped in this really small environment filled with people that are just constantly judging you, people that you have past with, and it's again an incredibly claustrophobic film to where you really feel like you can't escape with the main character. Because it is essentially a film that takes place in one building. And I think it's really impressive stuff when a filmmaker can take a small location and make something that is constantly engaging throughout the film. I mean, granted, it's not that long of a film. It's only an hour and 17 minutes, I believe. But still, it's a full-length film that keeps you engaged from start to finish. And that, to me, is some really impressive stuff. And again, the comedy in here works incredibly well. It's all, like, pretty subtle, and only, like, a few of it comes off, like, as, like, a punchline joke and kind of sketch comedy. But the vast majority of it is just funny through how the dialogue is written and how it's delivered, and also just at the absurdity of some of the social interactions that also ring as truthful in reality. So, yeah, I really enjoyed the comedy. The writing in this film is great. The dialogue, the acting. There's perhaps only one scene in this film that kind of stood out to me that I'm not sure I'm really on board with. Like, I don't hate it, but I don't like it either. And it's supposed to be this kind of romantic scene, if you want to even call it romantic. But yeah, I'll just leave it at that. But it's a scene that, I don't know fully how to feel about it. All I know is that when it happened, kind of just threw me off a little bit. But overall, I think this is a pretty awesome film. And the film also starts out with a bang as well. No pun intended. But it's immediately just like in your face and is really unforgiving. And that's also something about the film that I admire, but I can see that being uncomfortable if you're watching this with your parents or your grandma or something. I don't know why you'd be watching a film like this with your grandma, but, I can see that being an awkward 2 minutes depending on who you're watching this film with. Yeah, either way, I think this is a pretty great film. I enjoyed myself quite a bit. Pretty impressive on all levels. So I'm going to give Shiva Baby a solid 8 out of 10. Jewish! Yeah, I rented this for $6.99 on Amazon Prime. I believe you can also rent it on YouTube, so I highly recommend supporting this film because I highly doubt you're going to regret your experience. But yeah, either way, that's my review for Shiva Baby. If you really enjoy what I had to say about it, please give it a thumbs up and share it amongst your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to be updated on more film-related content. Jewish!